You know, if the Nintendo Switch 2 is releasing in spring of 2025, or at least around that time, it does make you wonder what's going to happen after games like Mario and Luigi Brothership, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and Donkey Kong Country. After those new Nintendo Switch games come out, what is Nintendo going to do, especially when it comes to Nintendo Directs? Like, are they still going to reveal crazy new Nintendo Switch games? Especially when it comes to the September Nintendo Direct. What do you guys think is going to happen? Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the RoboChan Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwave or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed the video and dislike if not. In this video, we are going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, the recent update about the release date of the Nintendo Switch 2, and why this really isn't too much of a shock to me. I also want to talk about what Nintendo's plan is here based on the information that Nintendo themselves have told us, because I think you guys are going to be kind of surprised, or at least some of you guys, and you're going to wonder the same thing I'm wondering is, why is everyone freaking out right now? Again, I'll explain. So the Nintendo Switch 2 topics have been interesting so far, really since the start of the Switch itself, but more recently in the past 1 or 2 years. Things like 4K on the Nintendo Switch have popped up, DLSS to make your Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong games and all sorts of new Nintendo Switch games look better and run better. There was one about the Joy-Con, and just overall, a ton of new details on the Nintendo Switch 2 have been popping up. Some more believable than others. But I think overall, we're ready for this next Nintendo console, which means we're ready for the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, where we will get new Nintendo Switch games from The Legend of Zelda to Super Mario, and just overall a fantastic time, especially when things come back. Now, until recently, or so it seems anyways, again, I'll explain, we haven't really known when the Nintendo Switch will come up. We just know that Nintendo is going to be doing it sometime in 2025. More recently though, we have gotten some interesting tidbits, but before that we need to go back and look at some key information that may have already hinted at. Because if you pay close attention to investor meetings and just overall the news around the Nintendo Switch, the actual news from Nintendo, they have been dropping hints and teases and different things that point to when this thing is going to release, and just setting up expectations over the course of the past couple of years. So early in May of this year, the president of Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch 2 by saying, quote, "This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year." So what does this tell us? Well, it tells us that the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal is going to be in 2025, not the release, but the reveal. Now, this fiscal year doesn't end in January, keep that in mind, it ends in March, a month that will come up again in this video. So this could be why the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal could be from anywhere from tomorrow to March. Another note we have to bring up is that Nintendo has talked about the Nintendo Switch 2 before this, and not just Nintendo, but Furukawa himself, the president of Nintendo. This is something I don't really see a lot of people talking about for some reason, but this is what My Nintendo News has to say on the matter when this happened, and it's gonna sound super familiar to you with the recent news about the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo has confirmed to investors that they have no plans to release any new hardware this fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2024. It seems fairly reasonable to think that a new platform could launch sometime next year, but overall can never really second guess Nintendo. Or you can never second guess Nintendo, which is true. So why is this significant, and what does that have to do with the recent news? Well, if they were gonna launch the Nintendo Switch 2 and this news didn't happen, the Nintendo Switch 2 probably would have been revealed in June and released in October. The original Nintendo Switch was a couple months away from the reveal, if you guys didn't know that. It was revealed in October and then released in March, so about 5 months. And why I'm bringing this up is Nintendo likes to do what they've done in the past. It's why you can always guess when the next Nintendo Direct is, unless there's something that's unforeseen happening, like a new Nintendo Switch, so that might change a bit. And this is why I mentioned the president of Nintendo's quote about the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement for the successor of the Nintendo Switch being within this fiscal year, which ends in March. Because if Nintendo continues this track, which they have been for the past 8 years of doing what works, more than likely 5 months before March is when we're gonna get that reveal, and 5 months after that is when we're gonna get that release. Now that may change by a couple months or so, but overall I think that's what's gonna happen. Now what's 5 months before March? Well, it's this October, so I think the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal is gonna be in October, and I think the release again is gonna be sometime in March or a little bit into April, which is based off what Nintendo has done in the past and what they've done in this past 8 years and what they themselves have been saying. And again, these thoughts have entered my mind well before the recent news which just popped up, which brings all of this together. This is what VGC had to say. Developers have reportedly been briefed not to expect Nintendo's next console to launch before April of 2025. That's according to GameIndustry.biz head Christopher Dringe, who discussed launch plans for Switch successor on the publication's latest podcast. Nintendo confirmed in May that it will announce its next console during the current fiscal year, which runs until March 31st, 2025. No developer I've spoken to expects it to be launching this fiscal year. Dringe said, in fact, they've been told not to expect it in the current financial year. A bunch of people I spoke to hope it's out in April or May time, still early next year, not late. I don't think any of us wants a late launch for the Switch 2 because we all want a new Nintendo console. Everyone is excited for it, but we don't want that crunch of Grand Theft Auto 6 and Switch and all that kind of stuff on top of each other. Now this is why I'm a little confused on why everyone's freaking out, because Nintendo has been saying a lot of things like this. They have been telling us that it's not going to be happening in this amount of time. It's not going to be happening in this amount of time. This is when it's going to be revealed. And we know Nintendo likes to do what works. They've been repeating the same pattern. That's why you can always tell what Nintendo is going to do most of the time. Again, because they're so predictable, they're really unpredictable, if you know what I mean. You're expecting them to do this, and then when they don't do it, it's really shocking. So again, that could be the case right now, but as far as I can tell, Nintendo is still going to be doing what works, which why wouldn't you, right? I mean, especially coming off of the Wii U, when they saw something that really works, they probably were like, okay, this is our golden goose. And when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, you probably don't want to screw up too bad because you can have another Wii U situation. I'm sure that's on Nintendo's minds. They don't want to have any confusion on what the Nintendo Switch 2 is. Now this really begs the question, what's going to happen after The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom? What's going to happen after Super Mario Brothership? What's going to happen after all of these new Nintendo Switch games come out? Because if the release date is in March, they're going to have at least one more Nintendo Direct to set up new Nintendo Switch games until that Nintendo Switch 2 reveal and release. Now in my mind, I think the reveal is going to be in October or potentially even in September. So we might very well be on our way to the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal in September in less than a month right now, which is kind of crazy. Now there are some rumors about Nintendo Directs, which I will talk about in another video, so make sure you guys are subscribed. But what I can see Nintendo doing is doing another Nintendo Direct. And they can also announce the Nintendo Switch 2 within that Nintendo Direct, or even tease it for its own event. If Nintendo follows the pattern of 5 months after the reveal, which would end up sometime in March, what I could see Nintendo doing is doing a September Nintendo Direct or October Nintendo Direct and reveal the Nintendo Switch along with a bunch of games at the same time that will extend until the Nintendo Switch 2's launch. So at the same time, we'll get the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal and games that will hold us over until after October. And they will also maybe even announce Nintendo Switch 2 launch titles as well. The Nintendo Switch 2 sales are already dwindling, so I don't see Nintendo being really worried about it affecting current Nintendo Switch sales for the next 5 months. In fact, I would say the hype around that reveal could actually increase the boost of Nintendo Switches and Nintendo Switch games sold. And I think that's what Nintendo is gonna do. That is my guess for their plan. I think they're gonna do a September or October Nintendo Direct, reveal the Nintendo Switch 2 within it, and set up the next 5 months after that like they usually do, and then launch the Nintendo Switch 2 sometime in April or potentially even in March. And then that's the start of the new Nintendo Switch generation, which is just full of mysteries. I would love to do a video of just speculating on what Nintendo could do, what I want them to do, what's realistic, what's unrealistic. I think that would be a really fun time of just speculating of that unknown future in 2025. Honestly, it gets me really excited for the Nintendo Switch, because I mean, just think about it for yourself. What do you think Nintendo's gonna do? There are so many options that they have. They can make new Mario games, new Donkey Kong games, new IPs. They could do a new Pikmin, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Nintendo Switch. They could do remasters, remakes, ports. Especially with the more powerful hardware, they can get a bunch of third-party games on there as well, so they can bring back other games. There's just so many possibilities, and that unknown of the future of the Nintendo Switch is really exciting to me. But yeah, that's why when I saw a lot of people freaking out about it, I was a little bit confused, because Nintendo has already dropped hints of this, and this is something that people, or at least me, expected. Who knows, maybe my brain works differently. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, leaving a like on the video helps out a ton. But yeah, yeah, tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. What do you think Nintendo is gonna do in September? Are you surprised that Nintendo could potentially be telling devs that it won't be releasing until at least April of 2025? Let's discuss it down in the comment section below because I'm really curious on what you guys think of all this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And while you're down in the comment section, or if you're still watching this video and not correcting me on my probably dumb mistake, I want to say thank you for reaching this video this far, and here's a cookie. For those who don't know, YouTube considers cookies potentially inappropriate for some reason, so let's spam those cookies in the comment section. I want to see pages among pages, just go wild with cookies in the comment section. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.